Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our second video. We are from Jujur Programming, and this is Structured Programming and Database System TEB2132. For this video, we are completing our group assignment 2. So here it goes. Right, we are a team of 4. That's me. On the far left, that's me. I'm Hakim, and I'm the leader of the group. And on my right is Anzari. He's the designer of the program. He is responsible for the flowchart that we will show in the video later. And next to him is Akil. He's the compiler of the program. He's basically double check all the areas that we might have in our programs throughout the course of completing the assignments or completing the C++ program. And lastly, on the far right is Iqbal. He's the coder. He's the one that writes down all the necessary program for this assignment. All right, moving on to our case study. So basically, for this assignment, we are tasked to come up with an engineering problems or our own case study. So we decided to do on engineering students or any student's report card, whereby we would ask for their name, their details, basically their details, their subjects, the subjects that they take during that semester, and the grade for each subject, and the GPA for their respective semester. All right, moving on to the contents of the program. So the program are separated into 3 parts: the header, the body, and the closure. As for the header file comprises of those that were introduced in lectures and those that were self-taught throughout the semester. What I mean by this is that in our program we have around 5 header, and 2 of them are the one that we picked up from the internet, the one that we studied by ourselves. They are include iOS and also include limit, and they are utilized throughout the program. And for our body, we is a compilation of repetition, decisions, and array, and or all vector concepts. And we also include text file processing. This is basically the requirements for this assignment, and we managed to include all of them in one program. And as for the closure, we transfer all input that the user has put in the program into an out file, which is the final destination of all the inputs from the user. The second section will be second section of this video will be the flowchart, and I would like to invite Anzari to explain the flowchart that we have prepared.
For the flowchart, when the user begin the program, the user must define variables, vectors, and the functions to get the name and the current semester of the students. And then the user will input all the subjects that the students take. And if there is no more subjects that the students take, the user will press exit to get the marks of each subject that the students take. And then the user will prompt to get the marks of each student of each grade, and the program will display all the subject mark and grade. So the grade, for the grade size, we have exactly four different grade, which is A, B, C, and D. For grade A and B, the students will get 4.0 GPA. For C, 3.0, and D, 2.0. And then to calculate the GPA, we use this formula, which is the total GP is equal to total times by 3 over 3 times by GP size. And then the program will display the total GPA of each student, and it will print in the out file, and the programs will end.
It's pretty simple actually, but the operations to get the total GPA is pretty difficult in the sense that we have to use vector concept in our program. All right, so the next would be to show the coding, the actual coding. Iqbal would share his screen to show the coding, and I will explain.
So hello. So this is the coding. This we referred it to the flowchart, but this is more sophisticated. So We begin with declaring the header files, include IC, vector, F3, millimeters, and iOS. And then we declare the variable, which is the integer temp marks, temp semester. And for string, it will be temp subject and temp name. And then for section 1 is the student details. So you will input your name, your current semester, your student report card, student name, and semester. And for section 2, it will be we will input the subject, and for section 3 we'll input the marks for the depends on the subject. And lastly, for section 4, we will conclude with the result for the statement of the subject. That's all. I give it to Hakim.
All right, thank you, Akil. So as you guys can see, the most sophisticated part of the program is to make sure that everything is in order, as because we have so many programs, so many codes that we put for this program, and one mistake could be fatal to this to the output of the program. Iqbal would explain the output, the sample output that the user would will see and would get for the program.
Hi, okay, so this is the sample output that we did in this programming. So after all this programming and then we run the program, so this is the output. And so for example, if you take your name and then I put an example name of Marco Phoenix, where he is sitting now in semester 3, semester 3, and then we press enter, and then you go to section 2 where you must put the input subject, where the Marco Phoenix need to type his subject, where is content of thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, scientific inquiry, and engineering. And if he want to exit the section 2, he need to type exit, and then he automatically will go to the section 3 for him to put his mark. So after putting all his mark, and then we go to the section 4. Section 4 please. Alright, so the section 4 is actually the result statements. So as for just as the flow chart. Now if the subject get 90, he get grade A. Now for this Marco Phoenix, for thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, scientific inquiry, engineering drawing, I put 4 of them, all of them 90, so all the grade are 2, so the total GPA is 2. And then the last line would be thank you. So after all this programming, then you press the enter, so automatically there will be an output text where student card, report card in the desktop. So here is the notepad, here is the student report card after you done the program, done with the programming. Thank you.
All right, thank you Iqbal. So all right, finally, for the last part of the video, the complications of this group assignment. The first one that we had accounted was the fact that we had to choose which structure, or which header we should use for this program. Turns out we use 5 headers, 5 header files, and we also have a problem with calculating the total GPA for the user. Actually, as you guys can see here, if I go back to the program, you can see that despite the students getting A for all subjects, the total GPA is still 2. I think the main reason behind this is that the formula that were given for the program was wrong, but we decided that this is one of the complications that we had for the program. I think that's all for this video. Thank you for listening.